And they don't lift it off me. They say, "Hey, push, man!" But loud, bro. They're shouting in the gym.
Bro, that's hectic.
Hello.
What's up? How you guys feeling, man?
Hello, pretty good. Good, bro, good.
Second time lucky.
Yeah, second time lucky.
So for those of you who don't know, in our previous episode, Waz and Daz came on. They're a musician duet, whatever. And they performed for us live. So if you haven't checked that out, please go check that out. It was really good. I think you guys can agree they're
100%.
Very, very talented.
Absolutely amazing, yeah.
In the audience today, we have Mums once again.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
And my old man, Dion.
Hello.
So just to kick it off, Malcolm has a little story to tell us about an explosion or something like that.
Yeah, maybe I can tell it a bit better this time. But so I'll give Jord the video footage that I took. So maybe you can like overlay it or whatever.
CNN are going to be coming soon for you.
Yeah, CNN they're going to want my number. So anyway, situation. I'm sitting at my desk busy studying, and I had headphones on because I was listening to a podcast, but I had one ear open. And all of a sudden, this crazy loud explosion, bang, whatever you want to call it, went off. And I mean, my initial thought was that lightning had struck my house. So I looked out the window, no clouds. There were a few clouds around, but nothing like nothing that could bring lightning along, surely. So I ran downstairs to my dad, and he didn't know what it was either, but he also heard it. So we went outside, we started, looking for like smoke or something like that. And our worry was that my mom had literally left maybe 60 seconds before that to go to the shop to get us some ice creams, which is really close to our house. So I ran back upstairs because I was going to go check that my mom was okay and that the explosion wasn't at the shop that my mom just went to. So as I came back out the house, my dad says, no, he sees where it is. And luckily it was in the opposite direction to the shop, but it was in the direction of the highway. So we figured out it must have been something on the highway. I have a highway that passes, pretty close by my house, maybe 300, 400 meters. So... So we're trying to figure out like what it could be, and I took a video of the smoke. Just hopefully you guys are seeing it now. But our initial thought was a cash in transit. What do we call it? Bombing or something like that? Because that's literally how loud. Yeah, that's literally how loud the bang was. And we also heard like a few pops after that, where we were very convinced that those were gunshots. Something along those lines. So within 2 minutes, my mom was back from the shop. She just went to get us ice creams. And by the gate by my house, you can literally just see cars like racing past to go see what happened. I mean, in the space of those like three minutes, there must have been 10 cars that went by. So we decided, okay, let's try go see what happened. We didn't hear any further like pops or anything like that. So we thought, okay, let's go see. So we get into the car and we drive down, and I mean, at the end of the road, there's like a loop, and it literally goes right next to the highway, and there's a hole in the fence. So I said to my parents, stuff that, Mom, give me your shoes. I don't have shoes on, so I wore my mom's pluckies. I'm in boxers, barely. Like, I had a whole bunch of cuts under my feet or whatever. And I squeezed through this gap in the fence, and I like climbed up this very steep hill. And then I started taking the second video that you guys will see. And what it was a Toyota Bucky that had, apparently, this was, people speaking right there, that they supposedly knew what was going on. But it had a gas bottle on the back. So we don't know if somehow the car lit on fire and, the guy pulled off the highway and ran away. And eventually the gas bottle exploded. Or if... it was a car accident. I couldn't see because the barrier between the two sides of the road was really high. So I couldn't really see. But then the one guy walks past, he's leaving already, and he says, if you check on this side of the road, there's a piece of the car. So this chunk of the car, it looked like a front,
bumper.
Side, front bumper or side panel. It had flown right over the highway all the way to the other side. And there was I have to say that the fire brigade was there within less than, I'd say, 9 8 to 9 minutes they were there. It was insane because from when we heard the explosion go off, we then heard the sirens after that and stuff like that, and that was them arriving. It was insanely quick. But yeah, so just a crazy experience. Maybe the video does some justice to it, but yeah, definitely a bit of an adrenaline rush.
Jeez, boys, we have a big guest today. No pun intended. So we should probably bring him on before we run out of time, man.
Yeah.
So today's guest is a 19-year-old giant who is paving a path for himself. He's sponsored by Nutritech and deranged, however you say it. Also, some say that he gave birth to Ronnie Coleman. It's Sipho Jnr.
Yes.
How's it going, guys?
You fit in that seat.
No, I think I'll be around.
So let's just jump straight onto the gift idea. I mean, it was an idea. We had this shelf already in Jordan's room.
Yeah.
And while the three of us were brainstorming, we decided, why the hell not shouldn't we use it?
Yeah.
And everyone that comes onto the show can bring some sort of a gift that maybe represents them or like that they want to be remembered by or something like that. So what are your gifts? Even though I can kind of see them already. And yeah, let's put them on the shelf.
Maybe just explain. Yeah,
Alright. I'm affiliated with Nutritech. I'm a brand ambassador for them. So this is a shaker, one of their shakers, and a sticker of Nuke, which is one of their pre-workouts that they have.
Yeah.
One of their really, really good pre-workouts that they have. So the reason I chose this as a gift is because achieving this was one of a milestone. It's a big, big milestone for me. Something that I wanted to do. I mean, ever since I started working out, Nutritech's the first supplement brand that I ever even used, and it's the one I've stuck with ever since the beginning. So for me to be affiliated with them was a very big thing for me. It was quite surreal. So I figured, first podcast I do with some really good gents, this can also be a present to you guys.
100%.
Something that means a lot to me, and something that can also fit on your shelf.
Oh, it's perfect.
Thank you so much.
It's really good.
Thank you so much.
Let's throw those on.
So I've actually used this Nuke pre-workout. I used to be, do you know Dylan Niza? He was also sponsored by Deranged. I used to be his videographer.
Yeah.
And he gave me a tub of pre-workouts, and I used to take it and like itch. That's my job.
It does
It does the job.
It does what it has to do.
Not gonna lie, that shaker might not last long on that shelf.
Yeah. I'm eyeing it out already.
Nah, I should be able to get some for you guys.
Yeah, that would be great.
So, bro, if I'm honest with you,
Yeah.
let's say 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. You used to be a bit of a skinny. I don't know what the right word is. So how did you get into gym? What was the inspiration? Why do you go to gym every day? What's your?
So it all started a long time ago. It all started with my dad. Obviously I was a pretty slim kid, and my dad was pretty big into the gym and the fitness. And I remember he used to go to a Planet Fitness that was close to our house, and he used to work out. I was probably still a kid. I can't remember how old I was, but I was young enough to know. I don't know the age now. You know what I mean? And always seeing him go to the gym, then he would I'd hang on to his arm, and then he would lift me up, do some curls with me.
The classic dad move. Yes.
So ever since then, I was just I can't wait until I hit the gym. And I've always been an active person. I played soccer, touch rugby, cricket, athletics. I did 100 meters, high jump, long jump. So I've always been active, but I was also quite slim. So I also just wanted to be big, I used to wear long sleeves under sleeves underneath my short sleeves because I was so uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable a bit, you know what I mean? So I started with some push-ups in my room. I started with some dips in my room. My parents got me a pull-up bar that you hang on your door, and I really wanted a gym membership, but they were like, "No, we're gonna start to be here, and if you actually, like it and you actually will stick with it for a long time, then you can get your gym membership." And I mean, ever since then, I've just been sticking into it. From my room, went to the garage because my dad had a few weights in the garage, like a barbell and whatnot. So I started over there every single night after supper. I'd be pumping it in the garage, and eventually, you know what I mean. Parents got me a membership, and yeah.
So are you a Virgin or a Planet Fitness type of guy?
Oh, my brother.
Tough question.
Oh,
Virgin.
What?
No,
boy.
Virgin,
Come here.
I'm a virgin guy,
You're a virgin or you're a virgin guy?
Hey, what's this podcast about, bro? No, I'm a virgin active guy.
So these two are at Planet Fitness, obviously, and Malcolm and I actually have a little bet going at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to tell me a bit about it. Maybe ask for some advice. I think you might need it.
Wow. Okay, that's rich coming from you. Okay. Jordan and I have always. I mean, the first real bet we had was in first year, so 2 years ago, and that was about cutting our hair. And we agreed you weren't allowed to cut your hair or any hair on your body. Okay, except for like your beard, I suppose. But
What beard?
wow. But you weren't allowed to cut it for the whole year. So I lost that one. And then I'd been to gym, a few times last year. Not a few times, like a while, but I was never consistent for more than, I'd say, 2 months. Then something would happen and I just wouldn't go back for a while. So I started gymming, when was it? Probably July this year again.
Yeah.
I started gymming July this year again, and I was at gym, and it's one of those moments, you're feeling so inspired. I'm busy, I don't know, I was probably curling or something, and I decided, stuff this. Yeah, pre-workout was, at its prime, and I sent Jordan a message. I was like, I bet you, I bet, that I can bench 100 kilograms by the end of the year. Yeah. So, I mean, my max bench at that stage was probably 75 or something like that. So, anyway, over the next few weeks, it all developed, and now we have this bet. So I have to bench 100 kilograms for 3 reps. I have to deadlift 140 kilograms. I have to squat also for 3 reps. I have to squat.
Just wait.
It doesn't look like it's catching it, really, Jordan.
I don't think it will.
Okay, go.
Maybe a touch. I have to squat 115 for 3 reps. What else is it, Jordan?
Muscle ups, mile.
Three muscle ups in a row, so I'm not allowed to let go of the bar. I have to run a mile, so 1.6 kilometers in 6 minutes 30 seconds.
And he thinks the muscle ups are going to be the easiest.
Oh, no.
No, but I don't think he's saying it as like to be malicious. I think he actually
No. Out of everything, I can tell you right now, the muscle ups are my least worry. I mean, he's my gym partner. That's the smallest aspect I have to worry about. And then the last thing is strict shoulder press. Also 3 reps with 65 kilograms. Which is for me. It's
Sipho's thinking, that's pussy.
that's warm up. So just some insights into that.
So you guys have this bet going on.
So first of all, what's your max bench squat? I don't know if we can ask this, but max bench.
Nah, can't expose. Okay. So my max bench is about 130, 135. I weigh 83.
Wow, okay. Now I really feel bad.
Jeez.
About 135. I can't hit 3 plates, hey?
No, same,
3
bro,
plates
same.
there's something about 3
that's
plates.
a big step, though.
The minute from 130 to 3 plates is about, 10,
5.
5, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not really that much, but I mean...
I think it's a mental...
It's the mental thing, you know what I mean? The minute it gets there, my brother, it goes down and it's not coming
Yeah.
It's just not moving.
It's a serious issue.
It's just, and then on my squats, what is it like? I have to do the maths now. Can you cut that thing while I do the maths? 246, that's 120, 140.
Definitely not cutting
one. About maybe 150 squats is my max. And I don't do deadlifts just because of time. And then now, it's just not one of my exercises that I do. I do want to get into it, but the problem was because I was going to the gym after school, I had a set amount of time that I could really spend in the gym.
Yeah.
And what's important is your warm up as well. So if you want to do deadlifts, you're not going to go straight into a 2-plate deadlift. You know what I mean? You're going to start with just the bar, and then a plate, and then a plate and a 10, and then 2 plates and 2 plates, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had to go up gradually, which just meant that for my other back exercises, I don't have as much time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's why I was just like, okay, I won't do them. But it's a very good exercise to do.
Yeah, it's insane. It's
a very good exercise to do. So that's my max on bench and squats.
So, how much chance do you think Malcolm actually has?
Do I have to answer, bro? No, I think, wow. I know.
It's before the 1st of December.
Yeah. How are you looking now, bro?
He doesn't want to tell me.
I don't want to tell him. I want to call him one day and just say, okay, I can bench 100 kilograms.
Oh, yes.
I can squat 110.
Okay.
And I've deadlifted. I've actually done the deadlift. So that's passed.
Okay.
I've done two muscle ups in a row.
Okay.
And
the shoulder,
yeah. And the shoulder press, listen, right now, it's going to be a serious issue.
No,
for me to pump out 2 on 6 for 60 kilograms.
Yeah.
And a 5 kg jump, because like I always see it as like the size of the muscle group. The shoulder is such a small, little muscle group. So for me to jump 5 kgs on my shoulders, from 60 to 65, it's really going to be tough. But I've been doing. I basically like Zander gyms with me, and he follows what I do because he likes the idea of what I'm doing and stuff. So you can ask him that I combine both just generally getting the muscles quite fit and strong, along with some purely based strength exercises.
And it's working so far.
It's you can see the progress.
Yeah, the progress is there.
Yeah, there's my favorite is whatever it is. So bench 5 sets, 5 reps, as heavy as you can go. 5 for 5. And I think that is probably the thing that's helped me the most. That and creatine. which is what I wanted to ask you as well.
I like the segue, Malk.
That's segue. Just move on to the next topic. And what is your opinion on it?
On creatine?
Yeah,
flipping love it. Eh?
Yeah. No, seriously. People don't.
Yeah, people know. Look, I feel like people know different things. The one thing that people think they know is that if you're touching a supplement at all, you're not natural. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, yo, man, are you natural or are you taking protein? And I'm just like,
that's ridiculous.
You know what I mean? Or the whole thing about creatine, it's actually one of the most studied supplements out there.
Yeah.
And creatine is everywhere. I mean, it's in your chicken, it's in your beef. The thing is, not a lot in your beef, so that's why you take a supplement that gives you 5 grams of creatine. So I love it. I started using it maybe 3 years ago, and I've been using it ever since. And then now I use one called Createch Loaded, which is by Nutritech. And
I've actually seen that.
You've seen it, yeah. It gives you 45 grams of carbs, 2.5 creatine monohydrates, and 2.5 grams of creatine HCl, hydrochloride, which gives you a nice balance of the two. The one is, if I'm not mistaken, acid-based, and the other one is water-based.
So HCl, basically, the way it does... Okay, from what I understand, the monohydrates, you have to take, let's say... 5 grams.
Yeah.
And only 3 grams of that will get absorbed into your body.
Yeah.
Whereas with the HCl, it's way more, I think the word they use is soluble. You are absorbing all the creatine that you're taking into.
Yeah.
And so both of us are taking HCl. And we really like the idea because also you don't have to cycle it and stuff like that. That's what they say. But obviously, I think when I go on holiday and so on, I'll go off it for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I like the idea because the one I'm taking comes in a
pull form.
So it's just super easy.
Yeah.
I can take it whenever I need to take it. It really doesn't matter that much.
Yeah.
But I've wondered about that Createch Loaded, and I've had a look at it a few times, and I've kind of thought. I wonder how the combination of the monohydrates and the HCl
works. I think it works wonders, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
And because of the carbs, it makes it better to absorb.
Yeah.
And also it's for the hard gainer. You know what I mean? So it's also giving you that 45 grams of carbs more into your diet. And also the balance between the mono and the HCl is also beneficial because you're getting both best of both worlds. You know what I mean? I love it and I use it. I don't really cycle it. I just use a staple 5 grams a day because most of them say a loading phase and you have to do this and you have to cycle off of it. If you just stick on your maintenance base of 5 grams of creatine a day, it's perfect. You don't have to go more, you don't have to go really less, but it also depends on your body. Are you drinking enough water?
Yeah.
Are you having your whole foods? You know what I mean? Are you living a balanced lifestyle? Because if you're not having a balanced lifestyle, and you're also taking 5 grams of creatine a day.
So you're talking about like people asking you if you're taking creatine, like then you're not natural, or taking protein, you're not natural. So where's the line between natural and unnatural?
Natural and unnatural.
Where does it tick over?
Well, obviously, if you're taking steroids, whether it's SARMs or a form of enhancer, you know what I mean? That's when you start becoming, well, quote unquote, unnatural. I personally, like, it really doesn't faze me whether one is taking or not. Just when you're honest about it, you know what I mean? If someone's going to ask you, hey man, do you take? And you're like, nah man, I don't take. But you actually do take. And then that's more of a character thing. And that's where I'm like, hey man, come on. But if you take and you say you take, that's fine. You know what I mean? That's where the line comes in. I mean, there's a whole lot of, research and a whole lot of amounts of steroids out there and different combinations and different that. I'm not educated on that because I personally never really looked into it. But yeah, I think that's where the line would be,
But I mean, like, are you really going to make... Because let's be honest, in the fitness industry, bodybuilding, these shows, I mean, everyone's on something. So can you break through that by being natural, or does it come to the point where you're like, in order for me to make this a career, I have to take steroids or whatever?
I mean, of course. I mean, it's kind of like you're going to go to a racetrack, okay, and everyone's using race tires. Everyone's using Pirelli P0 race tires, okay, and then you're going to go there with some street tires. It's just going to be like, you're just not going to have the same grip on the racetrack, you know what I mean?
For sure.
So if you're going to go into a contest where a lot of these guys, and it's at a very high level, a lot of these guys are taking, your physique just won't be able to match theirs. You may have proportion on, you may have, your proportions are right and everything's right, and you may win, really, you really may. But they may just be able to get leaner than you, drier than you, the definition may just be better, and you just won't be able to compete at that level. So it just depends what level you're at, you know what I mean? If you want to be the best in the world, you want to be on the Olympia stage and be Mr. Olympia, you're going to take, my brother.
Yeah, it's like impossible. Like
exactly.
The word impossible.
No, like, just naturally your body is going to reach a stage where it just can't grow anymore, you know what I mean? But you can get to a very good place, natural. And it also comes down to genetics, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Bodybuilding is a sport that really does come down to genetics. And I mean, if you want to be at the top, you have to have the good genetics. You have to have the proportion, you have to have those abs, you have to have the chest, you have to have the full back, the V taper, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Comes down to, and also how your body responds to gymming. The way my body responds to gymming is the same way Jimmy's body responds to gymming, or Eric's body responds to gymming. We're all different. His body may respond even better than mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some guys are just lucky like that.
Yeah,
I can really identify with that because I feel like I've been working as hard as Malcolm, but I don't have to show what he has to show. And it really, like, it pisses me off. But you just have to, like, accept that.
But then, I mean, maybe when it comes to, like, running or something, you get fitter just way easier than him, you know what I mean? Sure. It all comes down to what your body responds to.
So you did your first show in May of 2018. And I think you came 6th or 7th, if I remember correctly.
I came 4th in that one, actually. Yeah. Sorry, brother.
So maybe just... Sorry, boys.
No, it's okay.
Maybe just, like, walk us through... You haven't done another show since,
I did another one in December called Summer Super Bodies.
Okay. Yeah. So December. Maybe just, like, walk us through what it takes to get into that, like... Let's be honest, you're shredded now, but you're not stage ready. What it takes to, what the diet looks like, what the schedule looks like, what you're doing to get stage ready for a competition, and the sacrifices you need to make. I mean, with school, how do you balance all of that and stuff? I know I just loaded a lot of questions.
No, it's alright. So the one thing that I can say is that when you're preparing for a show, man, it's a whole different ball game. You have to be prepared to change your whole entire routine. Your mood can go down. Because now gymming, your workout schedule is totally different now. You're not doing your normal rep range, your normal everything. You really can, you know what I mean? But it's a whole different ball game altogether. Because now you want to take your body to a limit where you're in a calorie deficit, because you want to cut down on that fat, on that body fat, so your muscles can really pop when you're on stage. So the process is you kind of have to pick how much time you need to prepare, whether it's 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. I don't think some people do 5 months. I mean, I'm not as educated in the sport, you know what I mean? But you pick your time, you get a coach if you need one. I haven't really had a coach. I've kind of done everything myself, but I have had some guys in the industry that have also lended a hand of help, you know what I mean? Some assistance.
Aren't you quite tight with, what's Rowan's brother's name? Jesse Pretorius.
Yeah. Jesse Pretorius is a friend of mine. So he also, you know, I've also asked some advice from him. So yeah, you kind of pick how much time you have. For me, because I stay rather lean, I struggle to pick on like a lot of mass. I don't need like 5 months to prepare. Usually it's like 2 months, 2.5 months to prepare. So what you start doing is you start fixing up your diet, cleaning it up a bit, you know, depending on what method you go in. Some people start cutting out a lot of carbs. Some people just clean up their carbs. So from having burgers, you start having your sweet potato, just your sweet potato and your simple proteins like your chicken breast or whatever. So you start cleaning up, you know, slowly leading up to your competition. You're cleaning it up. You're cutting down your calories a bit with a few cheat meals here and there, just so your body can refuel itself. Because you're really going to start getting grumpy. Because I mean, you're going to feel like a chocolate. You won't be able to have that chocolate. Yeah. You're going to feel like a burger. You're not going to be able to have that burger. You spent a whole year being able to eat what you want, and now you're like, nope, you can't.
Yeah.
And then you start doing your cardio. And for me, my most recent show, which is Summit Super Bodies, which is in December, last year December, that one was also during exams. So I think it got moved actually. It was supposed to be before exams, but then it got moved to like literally like a week after my exams. So during my exams, I was preparing for this. So I'd wake up at like 4, jump on the treadmill. You know, lucky enough, we have a treadmill at home. So I wouldn't have to like go the whole way to the gym, but I'd jump on the treadmill and I'd do my morning fasted cardio with some coffee, just for some energy. Because you also start cutting down on the supplements, on like your pre-workouts and whatnot, because there's some water retention from the sodium in it and whatnot. So you start cutting down on some of your pre-workouts.
Cut out creatine then as well.
Yeah, you also do start cutting out your creatine and whatnot. And I was doing my cardio in the morning, and I'll take a shower and go do my exam. After my exam, obviously I'll be eating throughout the day, because you also want to keep your body where it's in a calorie deficit, but you're still feeding it, because you're going to start getting tired.
Yeah.
And then when I go to the gym, actually Marco Rao, he helped me out also. He kind of gave me some tips to do, some, you know, a schedule to go on. So I was doing some high reps, really sweating it, you know, really sweating my body with the hoodie. After my session, I'll jump on the treadmill, incline treadmill, and walk with my hoodie on, earphones in, sweatpants on. I'd walk, you know, just speed walk, maybe for like 10-15 minutes. That's after my workout. Then I jump into the sauna. Leading up to the show, the amount of time in the sauna increased, maybe like by 5 minutes each time, and that's just to like sweat out that water, you know what I mean? And then also I started doing my posing in the sauna, to practice my posing in the sauna, because you also have to practice your posing for on stage. Because if you don't practice your posing, when time you get on stage, and then you do that pose, and you clench your muscles tight, you may get into a cramp, which actually still happens even if you practice, because your body just isn't used to keeping that pose.
So just a question. So like, from what I understand, posing is like, it's almost like training. Like you literally have to train your body to be able to hold that.
Yeah, hold
like
that
all
pose.
those poses and stuff like that.
And it's also different. I mean, bodybuilding poses are different from men's physique poses, because I do men's physique. So yeah, my brother. So that's kind of how it goes. It's a tough time, but you know, the rewards when you're on that stage are pretty good.
When like, as soon as you're done with the show, do you just eat whatever you want afterwards, or like, are you quite careful to not like overdo it?
Yeah. You also have to be careful. I mean, some people have overdone it, simply just go in a full chow mode and just eat, and they pick up heavy weights.
Yeah, all of a sudden,
you know, get sick. You know, so you kind of want to gradually, you know, have a burger now. I mean, obviously, day after, like literally when you finish your show, you're gonna have some pizza and some donuts.
Yeah, definitely.
But then after that, it's like, okay, now let's slow down a bit and let's get our calories back up.
So you've obviously been 18, we're 19 now, correct? So you've been legal for a year and a bit.
Yeah, a year and a bit.
So like doing the bodybuilding and the gym and the school and stuff like that, like, do you drink? Because at the moment, Xander and myself are busy doing Sober October.
Stay strong, bro. Stay strong.
And we actually have Robin's 21st next week.
Next week, yeah.
So that's going to be a challenge, not going to lie to you. So yeah, just like with in terms of alcohol, obviously, I'm not going to mention your school's name, but it's a bit touch and go there.
Yeah.
In terms of that topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like for future maybe reference, how are you going to balance alcohol? Because there's a lot of calories in alcohol.
Yeah. Hey, dude, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I mean, I still, have a sip or two. No. I do. I don't really want to call myself. I may even contradict myself here, but I don't call myself a drinker because I don't drink on it. Like, I'm not the type to like weekend. Even if you're chilling, have a gin and tonic or something. Like, I'm not that type of person.
I'm not a binge drinker. Every 2 weeks.
But it's all.
Okay, so on your Instagram page, it says that you're a fitness lifestyle influencer.
Yeah.
And obviously I've done my research. I follow you.
Yeah.
I see you like your cars, your business. So like, what does a fitness lifestyle influencer do, and where's Sipho gonna be in 5 years? I know you love your cars, just like Malcolm.
Yeah.
So.
Fitness lifestyle influencer. We influence in the fitness field and the lifestyle field. I'm just on my page. I'm just trying to spread peace, love, and positivity, man. And what I love is fitness, and I love helping people. I love sharing assistance, and I love So in the fitness field, trying to promote that healthy lifestyle, trying to help people in the gym. People can hit me up anytime in the DMs on the comment section. You know what I mean? Hey man, can you help me with this? Hey, can you help me with this? And help it as much as I can, the best of my abilities. And also lifestyle wise, every single thing that I try to share in my stories, whether it's going to be a quote or something, or a video or an article, it has to do with being, having that positive lifestyle. Wherever you fit in lifestyle, whether it's music, musician, business, photography, wherever it is, just being positive, sharing a good message, you know what I mean? Building people up. And yeah, I love my cars. It's been a passion of mine ever since I was young. Honestly, I used to look at my dad driving. He taught me how to drive when I was still a kid, sit on his lap, I always had a passion for cars, so that's something that I actually want to build through growing up. In the next 5 years, I'd love to have a business having to do with cars. So one of my businesses that I'd like to have is make my own custom rims. So I don't know if you guys know, there's a rim company called Vossen or something. It goes like that, and they make some custom rims. So I'd love to have something like that, just to add my own flavor to a car. You know what I mean? Yeah. Someone actually, buying your rims and putting it on their car. So yeah, after school, I'm going to go study a BCom in business and strategic management.
Where are you studying Turks?
Varsity College.
Okay.
In strategic management, and yeah, I'm going to work for my dad and just build myself up from there through networking, investments. Yeah, my brother, that's the plan. That's the plan.
Well, right, like obviously, like you're very well built. Like you've got a great personality. Like I think you're a very likable person.
Thanks, brother.
My question to you is why not push the social media more, like YouTube, Instagram, stuff like that? Why not really try and create your personal brand? Like you built it to such a good spot already with Deranged and Nutritech. Maybe like just give the listeners an idea of if they want to build a personal brand to where you are, how to do that, and maybe how are you going to keep building it up?
Yeah.
Because I feel like you can hit a plateau.
Yeah.
And like how do you break that plateau in terms of personal brand?
Excuse me. So why?
Firing the questions.
Man's making me think. So the first one was
why don't
I push it more?
Yeah.
I actually do have plans to push it more. I think the one thing that has been keeping me back is, look, first thing, don't let your age keep you back. That's the one thing. But sometimes it does come to a point where sometimes your resources are just limited, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being able to go from point A to point B is not as simple when you're 17 as it would be when you're 20.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was keeping me back just a bit, because you want to create content. You want to create content in different places. But you have to get to those different places. And how do you get to those different places? You're going to be like, yo, mom, so I like to go to point A, point B, point C, point D in like one day and take a bunch of pictures. Probably like, that's a waste of fuel.
Yeah.
So I've tried to work within my means and what I have, but I do have major plans, next year to boost my social media. YouTube has been something that I have wanted to do, but with everything that has been going on through school and whatnot, and also your parents, there's a lot to consider when you're still living at home. Your parents still are like, yo, come on, in your head you have a plan. You're like, I have a plan, but they still like, no, study, or like, no, you can't go out today. You have to do this, or like, may please do this for me, which is perfectly fine. I mean, you're underneath their roof. So I do have plans to even push it more next year when I am a bit more flexible. The reason why it is where it is today with my social media, I think, has to do a lot with Nutritech and Range. They have really believed in me a lot, and they've seen some potential in me, and they've given me the resources to really get to where I am today. Especially with the people that have been around me, some of the people that I've met along the way, friends like Jason Lopez, Dylan Fantonda, even my homeboys, Aaron, Liam, Kian, Vayner, those guys have really also helped me a lot, because when something comes up and you want to share it, all these guys are, reposting it. Drain's reposting, Nutritech's reposting it, all the mates are reposting it, which also helps you grow. So that's also how I got to where I am now. And just tips for other people that are just trying to build it to a nice place is, number one is consistency. And I mean, we all battle with consistency, even some of the pros. I mean, I'm watching, one of my biggest motivations is Christian Guzman, and he's a massive motivation. I've been watching him ever since day one, and I haven't seen him post a video in like a month, and I'm just like, bro, what's going on? This is unlike you. But he's even struggling with consistency because things just get busy sometimes. So number one is consistency. Number two is keep things interesting. Make sure you're interacting with your crowd, with your followers. Commenting, responding to comments, responding to DMs, constantly keeping them engaged, more like a story, bring them into your life, make them want to be like, oh, so what is he doing today? What is he doing tomorrow? What is he doing the next day? Your life may not be interesting 24/7. I mean, life is pretty boring sometimes, but just find a way to keep it interesting. Yeah.
I think also a big key with that is motivation, and like coming back to why you're doing what you're doing. So like I said to these guys when we started this, I think Malk, I don't know who brought it up, but they were like, in 3 months, if we're not having fun with this, we need to look back and be like, why are we doing this? Why? Because we started this to just have fun, mess around with the boys, speak some cuck on a Friday night.
Meet some different people, like, why not? I mean, there's no limitations as to what we can do on this. If we want to talk about, gymming for 2 hours, I'm pretty sure we could do it. If we want to talk about rugby for 2 hours, easy stuff, let's do it.
Yeah.
But I think it was just like how can I say it, like guidelines for us. So because we've now, maybe put some money into this, and we're having guests on and stuff, we are forcing ourselves to do it.
Yeah.
And what I said is as long as the three of us are enjoying it, our guests will always enjoy it, and it will never be difficult for us to then, come here to Jordan's house, set everything up, get ready for a guest to come on and everything, because we're going to be enjoying it. We're going to be having fun. We're going to be looking forward to it the whole time. So I think, doing what you want to do and being sure of that is definitely something like that's really important in everything.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you there. I mean, you have to, the first thing, you have to love what you do.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to wake up every single morning to do that thing. You have to put in that extra, because you're not going to get to the top and being like some of these podcasts like Lewis Howes and whatnot if you don't love what you're doing. The reason they're where they are because they have a passion for it and they're willing to put in that extra money, you know what I mean? If you budgeted that you can only put in 1,000 rand and now somehow, you got an extra 1,000, maybe for your birthday or whatever, are you going to put that back into the business?
Yes,
or
yes,
are you going to be like, I'm going to put this in the business, or are you going to be like, hey, I got an extra 1,000, let's go for a jolt, mate?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have to love what you do. And I mean, there's going to be times where when you don't feel like it, where you're like, but I really don't want to do it this Friday. And you really can, but you just don't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
Are you going to do it?
Yeah.
So,
That's when I'll call you for some motivation. I'm going to throw a massive left field here. So, bro, I don't know. It's just kind of a funny story of how you and I first kind of met. I don't know if you remember. I think my dad might also remember. I think it was back when you were in grade 6 or 7 or something.
Yeah.
And you and Gemma had like some other beef.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
And I hit you, I messaged you on
Yeah.
BBM. I was like, hey, Bruce, stay away from my sister.
Yeah.
You tuned me back. And now Gemma and Sipho are like best mates. And it's just weird how like life works, and now you on our podcast years later.
Yeah.
So like you just never know where your connections are gonna go. And
Oh, of course.
I just thought I'd throw that in there because I wrote it down. Yeah.
You already know, yeah. I mean, yes, dude. It's growing up. It's growing up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's growing up. It's something that you look back at and you're just like, wow. You laugh about it, like we're here and we're laughing about it now. You know what I mean? And yeah, man.
So can I also just quickly go back to the previous thing of like motivation?
Go for it, bro.
So my dad is generally like a really, really motivated guy, but like he himself wouldn't say that he's a motivated guy, and Uncle Dion gives me like a similar sort of, how can I say, vibe. And that's not necessarily, I don't really like the word motivation because it's kind of like I need a reason to go to gym today.
Yeah.
And the thing is I think when that end goal, so for example, for me it's with a challenge with Jord, when that end goal starts getting a bit blurry and you're really not that keen on that end goal, what's going to matter isn't the motivation. It's not going to be like, I need to find my motivation in my bag now. Like it's not a real like object. It's not a thing. And that's where like the aspect comes down of just do it, like quoting Nike there. But I mean, but like just whatever it is, if you need to do it. Don't lie to yourself and say that you don't have to. So it's not even an aspect of like motivation anymore. It's just what you need to do has to get done. Stop being, a little...
Stop being a little bitch.
Yeah, and thanks for saying that. And just, get out the way, do what you need to do to be where you want to be. And if you're always true to yourself, you'll always be doing what you need to be doing on that day, in that hour.
Yeah.
And that is where, like, consistency comes in. And you're always going to be doing what you need to be doing. And I think that's where we
and
get...
discipline,
Yeah, that's where, like, you get your, Bill Gates. And
Speaking about Bill Gates, the Fiji water crisis.
Oh yeah, so this is something I wanted to bring up.
Great segue.
Okay. Yeah. So, I kind of want to be fact checked on this, but
dude, I wish we had like an assistant to like fact check.
So Rob, maybe just Google their Fiji water environment donation.
Bro, to be honest, Bill Gates and Fiji water crisis is such a good segue because Bill Gates like donates to clean water.
Yeah. So just something I wanted to bring up and like maybe get your opinion on it and so on. But from what I read on Instagram, some channel page posted on Instagram this week that the two, I think it's like founders of Fiji Water, they're a couple, like two old people living in California or whatever, donated $750 million to the University of California to do research on like climate change, environmental things, and especially like I'm about to throw something at you. Did you know? Now this doesn't really apply to South Africa because we get our beef in a specific way from South Africa. But if you eat I think it's an 80-gram burger. Beef burger in America. Yeah. That is the equivalent of a car driving 50 miles. I don't know what that is in kilometers, but like 70 or
80.
Yeah, 80. But like, what do you like? That's insane. And if I think about that, and especially in a country like America where it's like obesity is a thing because people eat burgers all day, and like companies like McDonald's are doing. Have these ways of getting their burgers, so consistent and stuff that are actually really bad for the climate. And to be honest, I don't really know where this is going, but I wanted to ask, like, for all three of you, what on earth is your guys' opinion on that? Do you think it's a good thing for like really rich people to just donate money to a university? And,
of course, well, if we had more people doing that, we be able to do more research, obviously. So yeah, but with the whole burger thing, it comes down to like, it's the bigger picture. So why are people eating so many burgers? Because it's cheaper for them to buy a $1 burger than go to a supermarket and buy clean ingredients to make themselves dinner at night. So we've got to ask ourselves the question, like, why is that allowed? Like, why do we allow that to happen? Why can you buy a burger for $1? And then the other thing is, like, why would you put that in your body? Because you know it can't be good for you.
Yeah, most of them, yeah.
So yeah, just from my side, like, yeah, okay.
Well, what I wanna maybe push out there is like, I would consider going vegan. I maybe am considering going like vegan or vegetarian or something.
I actually want to do a YouTube video going vegan for a week.
Yeah, but I wouldn't mind. I honestly wouldn't mind like giving it a try for this reason. Yeah. Like for this reason and this reason only, and that is like that. I mean, cows like literally fart methane gas that like causes serious issues and stuff like that. But so I don't know. Do any of you guys do like meat-free Mondays or something like that? Because we do that in my house.
No.
And what do you think about it?
Definitely not.
But if you think about it, so 1 day a week, like 1 day every week. That's 52 days out of a year. If every like 10th household did that, I think it would make a serious difference.
I mean, in my household, it's not like a common thing. Like once a week, you know what I mean? We're not gonna have meat. But my mom just come out the blue, and sometimes she'll just be like, "Yeah, we're not having meat today." She makes some like weird vegetarian dish.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Mom, what is this, Mom?" I'm like, "Mom, what is this? I need my protein, Mom." You know. But look, I think just to go back to your other question, when you wanted to get the opinion from all three of us, I think it is a very important thing to take care of the environment, to take care of our land, because I mean, we're not going to have a place where our grandchildren are going to be, you know what I mean, or their grandchildren. I mean, we are literally deciding to suffocate them. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna destroy my land now, so in 10 years they can suffer.
Yeah,
but as long as I can have a good time now.
Yeah,
it's a bit.
It doesn't
selfish,
matter.
You know
it doesn't matter because it's not us. Like that's what a lot of people are saying.
Exactly. Like it is a bit selfish. So it is important that we do take action, you know, and how we take action is also very important, I feel. So if the owners of Fiji have, you know, all that tons of money and they want to just put it into one cause, that's amazing. That's great. You know what I mean? Who am I to say what you do with your money? But I do feel, you know, maybe, I mean, there's many things you can do, but maybe they could have divided it into maybe other causes. But we don't know what they've done with their money.
Well, if we look at California specifically, where they're from, they have a massive water crisis. Like,
it's
I don't know the facts, but water crisis in California is probably like one of the worst in the world at the moment in terms of like supplying fresh water to like their population. Yeah. So you could understand why they would do that, especially being a water company.
It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense, and also, I mean, let me also say that I don't know what else they do with their money. You know what I mean? They may be flipping, donating to, you know, kids over here in Joburg, you know what I mean? The school here in Joburg. They can be donating all around the world, but it's just the one that came to the news now. So I mean, I think it's great. And I do think that we need to take more consideration into how we deal with our environment. If you don't want to let go of meat, which is going to be extremely difficult for, I think, a lot of us. You know, we have to find a way to process our meat better, to, you know.
But I think on your point, there's that stat where the top 10 richest people are richer than the rest of the entire world or something like that. I don't know if it's top 10, but like top 12 or something like that. So, bro, if those people can just like, they have more money than like countries. So if they are willing to give money to the water crisis or to anything like that, it's definitely a big up. 100%. Also. But moving on, Mark, I think you wanted to speak about TikTok or something like that.
Oh yeah, well, have you guys seen TikTok?
That music thing that people do.
Yeah.
That video type of like.
I honestly think it's trash.
I think it has some serious potential because, like, at first, I think with Vine, like a lot of people were like,
it's the same idea that Vine went through. People were like, "What is this?"
I think it'll probably go like this. It might not see might not see like as high a peak as Vine did, like when it was right at its top. I mean, like Logan Paul, for example, started at Vine. Like that's where he got like a basis of, I think, first of all, money, but also like a bit of a following to then like move over to something like YouTube. Yeah. But I just wanted to say, I think it might be quite big, and I'm quite enjoying it at the moment. It's pretty funny.
You are good.
Yeah. Like there's some, especially some of the South African ones. Some of the South African ones are like absolutely hilarious and also so true. It's just really funny. I highly recommend you go check it out.
I mean, like in terms of, great. They'll get a following off of that video you showed me earlier.
Yeah.
They'll get a following and whatever. But to me, like for me specifically, I want to build like a personal brand so that people know who Jordan Burrs is. And I feel like TikTok it almost, I don't want to say it takes away from your brand, but I feel like it diminishes your brand a bit because I don't think it's seen as professional.
Oh yeah,
I mean, look, that's why you don't see Logan Paul and those type of guys on there now. Yeah, like Logan Paul used Vine as a stepping stone to get professional. So like maybe I should use it as a stepping stone or something like that. But that's just my thoughts on it.
So Logan Paul has a TikTok account.
Yeah, he has one. Has he used it?
It has 3 million followers.
But has he posted a TikTok?
No, he hasn't posted a TikTok.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
So I think we should move swiftly on to our segments. We have 2 segments on the show called Awkward Moments and Mental Health with Zans. So our awkward moments is just something that every human goes through that we can all relate to as like being an awkward moment. So this one, I don't know how we got so lucky that Zans brought this one up, especially with the guest that we have. But I don't know if you want to take it away, Zans. You know which one I'm talking about.
Give us the story, Bruce.
So the other day I was in gym, right?
Yeah.
Finishing my workouts, was doing some abs, whatever. And this kid walks in and like, I didn't pay much attention to him or anything. He just walked past me, so I was like, whatever.
When you say kid,
probably
was it Malcolm
16? Yeah, about as small as Malcolm. Yeah. About 16, 17. Yeah. He walks past me, whatever. He goes onto the treadmill, starts running, cool, whatever. So now I'm leaving the gym now in Planet Fitness. You scan your parking tickets so that you can get free parking, whatever. And there's quite a queue by like the ticket machine. So I'm standing there waiting, and this kid's now moved from the treadmills over to like the benches. And I see him, he racks a 20 and a 20, and he gets down on the bench. Now I'm watching this kid because I'm like, wow, like, he's pretty small to be like just starting. Just like, okay, maybe he's strong. Cool. So he gets ready, he gets under it, picks it up, cool. As soon as he's up, just drops it on his chest. Boom.
Was it like hard impact?
Yeah, it was like a stone and cracking. And the whole gym, like he let out a little bit of a cry, and the whole gym just turned to yo.
Jeez.
So these 2 guys behind him, quite large oaks, they're doing arms or something, whatever. They just run over, pick the bar up, rack it for him. And I must say, these guys were good gents, because he got up and he was like complaining, and they were like, bro, you okay? You're right. Yeah. So they said, all right, let's take the 20s off, you're going to bench the bar. Yeah. And they made him get back on, and they made him bench it out. So
that's quite cool.
Respect to those guys, I appreciated that from them. But also,
you feel really awkward.
I felt so awkward watching that, because I was just like, wow.
Can I give you a better perspective of this?
Has it happened to you?
It happened to me. With probably 2 of the most obnoxious friends that I have. Brandon Boyson and Stelios Ayotis. So we go to the gym, now I was training for this triathlon, so I didn't gym that much. Get back in the gym after the triathlon with Stol and Brandon. Also doing my bench, whatever. I'm like, boys, I could bench 100 before the triathlon. Let me put it on and see what's happening. So Brandon's standing behind me, spots me, and Stol's doing pull-ups. So I do half a rep. I'm like, Brandon, he's like, push. Just drop it on my chest. He can't lift it off me. So he calls Stol, and they don't lift it off me. They say, hey, push, man! But loud, bro. They're shouting in the gym. Eventually they help me up. I'm red, bro. I'm standing there. Everyone's looking at me. No, it was...
Oh, you are that kid, bro.
I'm that skinny kid.
Sucks, but it's so true though. Like when you're helping, like spot a guy, to you just like yo come, like you feel like you're helping him so much. Yeah. But just that little bit of like a push. If he's already pushing, it's so much easier. So you don't realize how like heavy even 60 kgs could be just on a bar like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's
a awkward moments. I felt like
that is awkward. It is awkward because you feel awkward for him.
Yeah, exactly. Because
I'll tell you that guy felt awkward as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Zan, so you have another awkward moment for us that actually happened today while we were watching the rugby.
A couple hours ago, actually. So this is.
You Malk hasn't heard this one yet.
Yeah, I haven't. No one knows this one yet except
George
was there with me.
No, I wouldn't say with. Yeah, context right.
Okay. So we go watch the rugby. We go to like a bar on. So we had the strip, at the grind. So now I've been drinking a bit of water. I decided it's time for me to go to the bathroom. Just need to go. So I get up, tell George, I'm gonna go have a slash quick. So I walk into the bathroom.
Where is this going?
You won't even guess it.
Walk into the bathroom, go around the corner to the urinal there, and
the what?
Urinal.
Too much.
Deranged.
I don't know. Anyway, so you got to know, like the grind has like this. It's like a trough almost, basically. So I go in there and like come around the corner, and there's a guy standing there, and he's taking a leak. And as I go stand next to him, he looks at me and just spits on the floor in my general direction. Just takes a spit, like looking at me in the eyes.
What?
And now I'm halfway undoing my belt, about to like, you know. I look at him, put it back.
Are you serious? You just left out?
Yeah, I just walked out. I had no idea how to deal with that situation.
Yeah.
Not a clue. And I just walked out of there thinking, why?
Yeah.
What?
He walked out the bathroom with eyes. Like, you won't believe what just happened.
Like,
that's
have
really
you
weird,
ever heard?
That's really. I can't think of like an excuse as to why he would do that.
Maybe he was
like
drunk.
Well, I must say, like
if he was trying to start a fight, maybe.
Like, listen, I don't know why you'd want to start a fight in the middle of a Springboks game.
We're all good mood, you know.
We're winning. Like, what's the beef here? You know, I mean, he was drinking brandies and coke because then, like, I saw him come out and look, and I was like, wow, okay.
And he was in khakis.
You don't want to stereotype it, but he was. But no, it was just one of the strangest things that's ever happened to me in my whole life, and I don't think I'll ever get over it.
You know what I feel like? Since we started this podcast, weird things have just been happening. Just for for us to speak about. It's weird.
It's almost like we're coming up with them. No, we really aren't.
I think we move on to our final segment, which is called Mental Health with Zans, where he reads out his little book. Basically just gives us a little quote for the day.
So basically I have a book called Shit Happens, So Get Over It. Just gonna quote.
No pressure there, Zans.
This was actually my gift to the podcast. So, Which one are we? Okay. Let life happen to you. Believe me, life is in the right always.
Yes, life is definitely in the right for you today.
Yeah. Don't fight, guys.
Spit at you.
Boys, but do you have anything else to add? Nothing?
No, not really, man.
Sipho, bro, thanks so much for coming out. Really appreciate your time and stuff like that. Where can people find you? Do you have programs, anything like that you want to shout out?
Nothing first, just want to say thank you to you guys. You know what I mean? It's been an amazing opportunity. While I listen to podcasts and everything, that I'll be on a podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really appreciate you guys giving me this opportunity. You know what I mean? To share my story and share my thoughts. And where can you guys find me? So you can find me on Instagram.
Being serious.
You guys can find me on Instagram at Sipho Sipho .Jnr, Sipho Jnr. I'm not those type of people that are like, yo, big boy, what? Nah, this is my name on everything. Sipho.Jnr on Instagram, Facebook, Sipho Jnr Mtembu. Sharks, you're probably not gonna spell my surname. MTHEMBU. And those are my main platforms. I'm not gonna get my number out because that's just weird.
Probably not recommended.
But thanks, boys. It's been lekker. Thank you for tuning in. One of our best episodes so far, I think. Flowed really nicely. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed. Please. Also, Go check out our other 2 episodes that are out now, Waz and Daz, and then there was just a boys episode, number 1. Please go check that out, and we'll see you guys next time.
Follow us on Instagram.
At
Hectic Podcast.
Hectic Podcast.
Like and subscribe.